Hello, I'm Kim DeStefano. I'm a transformation and meditation coach, and I want to thank you for taking the time out to come and be with me today. The topic of conversation today is about having to choose between who we've been and who we want to become. Whenever we embark in transformation or growth or conscious change, we're going to start to realize, we're going to get to a point where we realize, oh, okay, the person that I've been isn't the person that I can continue to be and have the experiences that I'm wanting to have. So you may be trying to change something for yourself or choose something different for yourself. It might be a lifestyle change, it might be a body shape change, it might be a career change or money change or situation change. And in many cases that I've noticed when I work with people and for myself as well, the person that you are when you're making the change is like, oh yeah, I want that kind of money, or I want that kind of lifestyle, or I want that kind of body. In order to become the person that has that lifestyle, that has that money, that has that body, you actually have to kind of become a different person. And that can be challenging to do because a lot of times we want to continue to be ourselves as we are and then have those types of surroundings or those possessions or whatever it may be. But in many cases, that person, that personality doesn't really match up to that. So then we actually have to evolve into somebody different. And sometimes people don't like it when I say that thing, that because they think, well, then I'm not being authentically me. And that's not true either, because a personality is something that we created, not always intentional, not usually intentionally, but it's been created based on our situations and our experiences, our surroundings, our perceptions of things, and we develop a personality. And there are some core level things about people that are authentically to who they are, and that stays with you, that comes with you. If you're a genuinely loving human being, to become wealthy doesn't mean you're going to be a mean person. You're still going to be authentically, genuinely loving human being, but your personality, the personality that's on top of that essence, the personalities that are on top of the essence of who you are, that's the part that gets changed. And those personalities aren't essential to who we are. Those are just sort of our beliefs, our interpretations, and our ideas about ourselves. And those are totally up to us to be able to create and change in new ways of seeing the world. It can be difficult to do, and it can be difficult to kind of to step back enough sometimes to kind of look at it from a different perspective. But when you kind of step back from you as you think yourself to be, you can really start to see, okay, these are ideas I have about myself. These are ideas I have about the world. These are ideas about what I believe is possible. These are ideas that I have about other people. And if I can, that I could change these ideas. And when you change those ideas to the point where you actually create a different personality, a different identity, then you have the ability to see the world in a whole new way. You'll experience life in a whole new way. If you are wanting to go from a negative amount in your bank account to having millions in the bank, you're going to have to accept that, okay, in order to do that, I'm going to have to change the way I think, the way what I believe, who I believe myself to be, and what I think is possible. Now, those are the parts of the things of the self that need to change. Like I said, you, at the core essence, you might still hold value that family is important, that treating people with respect is important, and those are core values that you take with you. But what you change is your ideas about yourself, about the world, and what's possible. And when you do that, you actually literally become somebody else. And that's what I'm talking about. That's about the ability to drop old identities and drop old perspectives and drop who you've been to become who you're wanting to be. And that's the part you're going to, as you make these changes, you might get to points in your progress where you have, it's almost like you have two parallel parts of you happening simultaneously. You have the old self that has all this momentum, and then you have the desired self, which also probably has momentum, but it's in the creative part. You've been creating it and wanting it and desiring it for so long. That too also has momentum, and that's a potential reality for you because you've been wanting it. So both of them have those momentums going, and at some point you're just going to have to choose which reality are you going to step into? Are you going to continue to be who you've been? Or are you going to step in and be who you want to become? And of course, I'm going to encourage you to become who you want to become, because that's the whole point of deliberately and consciously changing our reality, is that we have the right, of course, we have the right and the ability and the desire to manifest whatever we're trying to manifest. So when you hit those points, it could be very uncomfortable, because you might be trying to act like somebody who has millions of dollars in the bank and become that person with millions of dollars in the bank, but the old personality is going to keep pulling you back to where you have that negative income, and then it's going to kind of go like this a little bit for a while, and then you're just going to have to find out, where's your allegiance going to be to? Is it going to be to your conscious creation, your conscious deliberate manifestations, or to a personality that may have been created by default? So you could tell by my questioning I'm baiting you to, for sure, to kind of go for what you're creating. And remember, anything that you're able to let go of isn't authentically who you are. It's just concepts or ideas or perceptions that you're able to change. Those are the things that, and those are the changes. That's the level of change we're trying to make, mostly, is on those levels, because that actually is so much about what creates the experiences we have and what creates the world, the kind of world that we're living in. So when you get to that place where you can feel the pull between two selves, and it can almost feel like an anxiety. I've experienced it different ways whenever I make a big shift. It can feel like a depression or an anxiety or a mourning or an overwhelm, or I feel sometimes, okay, I'm being broken. And what's being broken is the old self for the new one to emerge. It's sort of like that butterfly, the caterpillar to the butterfly. You can't continue to be a caterpillar if you want to be the butterfly. You have to actually make a transformation into that next self, that next vibrant, alive self that who can do what you're wanting to do. And so try not to get too attached to who you perceive yourself to be, because that's malleable, that's changeable, that's not set. We're not set structures in that way. And when you get to that place where you can feel the discomfort of that old self and those old structures breaking, kind of just ride it out and keep focusing on the person that you're choosing to become. And at some point it'll break off, and then you'll be able to make the evolution. I've known clients where they actually feel like they're dying. They've had to go to the hospital because they're having anxiety or panic attacks. I had one who had to go to the ER a couple times, and the doctor's like, "You're fine, there's nothing wrong with your heart." He's like, "But I feel like I'm dying." And it's like, okay, I mean, your old self is dying because you're wanting to be a new person, and that new person, that old self can't come with you, because it doesn't match, it doesn't line up. The kind of relationships you're wanting to have, the kind of feelings you want to have, the kind of way you want to experience your life and your world, that old self that you've been probably for the last 10 years can't come with you. So it's going to die. And it really put up a fight, but moved through it. And he came into the next part of who he was going to become, and he's much happier. And he's like, I don't know what all that was about. It was about letting go. And it can be hard because, sometimes we don't, there's that part of us that's that's become used to being that person that doesn't want to let it go. So when you get to those points, don't give up and don't back into it. Be conscious. And even if you choose to kind of go back to who you've been because you like it better, or maybe you're more comfortable there, then be okay with that and just know that you've done that consciously. You made a conscious, deliberate choice for that. But if who you've been isn't giving you the life that you're wanting, you're going to have to let go of that precious personality that we have and take on a new one that will give you what you're wanting. So that's the guidance for today. If you want to work with me, then you can access me at yourtransformationisart.com. I have one-on-one sessions. I have consulting clients. I also do live daily meditations that are available that can really help you kind of be deliberate about your day. And there's also pre-recorded transformation meditations that actually are designed to help you make these transformations. And they're titled. So whatever it is that you feel like you're needing help with, it's there for you. So have yourself a wonderful day and much warmth and much love. Thanks.